just a second here, chat. As I didn't have the video. Game. Now. Ah. Okay. See, the thing is with technology, chat, is you have to just assert yourself. You have to go, you know what? I don't care. You're gonna do what I like.
Should be finalized within the week. I've already discussed the matter with the senator.
I take it he was agreeable?
He didn't really have a choice.
Has he been infected?
Oh yes, most certainly. When I mentioned that we could put him on the priority list for the ambrosia vaccine, he was so willing it was almost pathetic.
This plague, the rioting is intensifying to the point where we may not be able to contain it.
Why contain it? Let it spill over to the schools and churches. Let the bodies pile up in the streets. In the end, they'll beg us to save them.
Hi, I'm Fox San Antonio's Jessica Headley.
And I'm Ryan Wolf.
Our greatest responsibility is to serve our
Treasure Valley communities,
the El Paso, Las Cruces communities, Eastern Iowa communities,
Mid-Michigan communities.
we are extremely proud of the quality, balanced journalism that CBS 4 News produces.
But
We are concerned about the trouble and trend of irresponsible, one-sided news stories plaguing our country.
The sharing of biased and false news has become all too common on social media. More alarming, some media outlets publish the same fake stories without checking facts first.
I see you, enemy. I see you, enemy. 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 You are not going to have me. Going to have me. Going to have me.
You're not going to shoot my husband. The sharing of biased and
False news has become all too common on social media.
More alarming, some media simply aren't true without checking facts first.
Unfortunately, some members of the media use their platforms to push their own personal bias and agenda to control exactly what people think. And this is extremely dangerous to our democracy.
We've had to endure much, you and I, but soon, order, a new age. Aquinas spoke of a mythical city on the hill. Soon, that city will be a reality, and we will crown its king.
Gods. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's show. It is July 9th, 2022, and right now, first hour of the day over here on the Pacific Coast. Tonight we're going to be talking about some things that have happened since I've been gone and my own thing. So, the former Prime Minister, right, Abe, he was assassinated in Canada. I don't know much about that. We'll take a brief look at it. Roe v. Wade, there was some stuff happened. Now women have no rights anymore. That's what I've been told. So I'm looking forward to just embracing my inner caveman, taking a club, and just helping myself to the brave new future that lies before us. That, of course, was my graceful kitty trying to jump on the cat tree. So, of course, we got our noodle cameo over with very quickly here. So what else? Let's switch over to the open. You know, just like riding a bike. Graceful kid. There we go. So, got music coming through? No. There we are. Okay, so Roe v. Wade, Kitty, you are absolutely distracting me. Okay. Anyway, Roe v. Wade protests. To be quite honest, I've been logged out of politics for a minute. I haven't really been paying attention to all of this because it's just boring, right? I mean, some of it's great, like Biden eating shit riding a bicycle. That was pretty good. Which we'll talk about that. We'll talk about him fucking up a teleprompter and him saying basically gibberish. And we'll also talk about R. Kelly. I'm sure, as you notice in the title of the video, R. Kelly goes to prison. That orange jumpsuit looking really fine on him. I gotta say, R. Kelly, round of applause, right? Round of applause. No more fucking flying for you, you piece of shit. So we'll take a look at that. CERN reactivates its collider just the other day, and wouldn't you know it, like a day later, the Georgia Guidestones got blown up. So never a slow day in this. Ezra Miller, all sorts. I don't even know where to start with that. You know, thankfully for him, he's on the media's side because they've been cleaning it up for that asshole. So we'll, again, briefly take a look at that. Okay, let's just leave that on screen. And some new audio resurfaces of Sky Chad. Sky King, I could not find only the new part. I just added it into their like new segments, so it's a little hard to find the new parts. So with that, all of that having been said, you can already sense it, like a sixth sense, right? I can feel that some people are going, all right, when are you going to bring up like internet blood sports drama? I have no comment on any of that whatsoever. Not at all. No comment. No fucking comment. What a disaster, as one man used to say. What a fucking disaster. No. It's been a fun disaster for everyone watching the trash fire from the audience. So, let's go ahead and work our way, shall we? Start off with Joe Biden on a casual bike ride. Don't have to listen. Watch him on his bike. Eat shit. There he goes. Down he goes. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. Do you think he had life alert? Does anyone else think he had a life alert? He hit the button. He probably doesn't even, but you know, instinctively, as a member of the, or he had one somewhere stashed away. 70. This guy's 70. You remember when Trump was unfit to be president because he drank too much Diet Coke and he was orange? Man, thank God that Biden here doesn't have a tan. You know, being what appears to be a child molester, being a corrupt politician for his pedophile son, and being literally, what's the word I'm looking for? Brain dead. The phrase, rather. Brain dead. That doesn't mean anything. What a 360, or 180 rather, a lot of these people have done. When suddenly, now that it's just their team in charge, you would think that the same people who beat the drum about hating corruption and blah 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 would identify that that's happening within their own party and go, hey, this is bullshit, this shouldn't happen, fuck you guys. And instead, it's just constant cleaning it up. You know, just really thank God that this guy doesn't drink Diet Coke. It's okay to be a child molester, but it's not okay to drink Diet Coke and have a fucking tan. Weird. You try to put together a worldview or a message that the media industrial complex is trying to force fucking feed you, and really the only thing is they win, you lose. Shut up and do what we want. Because there's no consistency, even with the sheep that follow them endlessly. There's no consistency to their argument. If you were to switch the teams today, they would immediately start to go, hey, wait, but Biden's a Republican, we don't like this. But up until then. Anyway, so let's go ahead and watch that sweet footage again. Spaghetti-o. Falling down and go boom. I'm actually not drinking tonight. I've decided to lay off the booze for a little bit. You know, I don't know if it was the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, or whatever stream that I did where I ended up hiccuping and having to close the stream unable to talk. But I think it's time. I think the hiccups were a sign from on high that I need to dial it back just. a good time to be a Democrat. Because as you know, Democrats, really care about everybody. In fact, sometimes I fear they care too much. Maybe that's their problem, is they're so virtuous and they're so good. They're better human beings than everybody on the planet, so they've told us. That clearly, we just misunderstand the world. Has to be. They told us that they're the good guys and we're the bad guys. It doesn't really need to be more complicated than that, right? So here's Joe Biden reading a teleprompter.
Power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political, or maybe precise, not and or political power. That's another way of saying that you, the women of America, can determine the outcome of this issue. I don't think the court, or for that matter, the Republicans, have power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistently higher than the percentage of the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral and or political, or maybe precise, not and or political power. That's another way of saying that you, the women of America, can determine the outcome of this issue. I don't think the court, or for that matter, the Republicans, have power. It is noteworthy that the percentage of women who register to vote and cast a ballot is consistent.
Well, okay, I guess it repeats. So repeat the line.
Higher than determine the outcome of this issue. I don't think the court, or for that matter, the Republicans, have power than the men who do so. End of quote. Repeat the line. Women are not without electoral.
There it is. Repeat the line. Repeat the line. Yeah, you say it was a word salad. There wasn't anything. There was no message there. Saying a bunch of shit. Do you think that's bad, chat? Think that's bad? Get a load of this.
Mr. President, what does Prime Minister Abe's death last night say about the security situation in Japan? And can you give us an update on your thinking about lifting China tariffs, please?
Let me, I tried to put a call in to the present Prime Minister, and he was very late there at night. I'll be talking there in the morning. I'm going to be stopping to sign the condolence book at the Japanese embassy on the way to the CIA. This hasn't happened in Japan in decades and decades. I'm told we'll go all the way back to the late 30s, mid-30s. And it's a homemade weapon.
Where's Jim Acosta?
I've only seen a photograph of it.
As far as I remember,
The Justice Department is going to be going in and giving me more detail as they find out the detail. But the fact is that one thing did get my attention, that this is the first
nobody won. Let's be real, nobody won.
Weapon to murder someone in Japan.
This is a situation
and
with no victims.
We have thus far have 3,000. I won't hold me to the number. 688, between
saw
3,000
that.
and 4,000 cases. They've won.
We'll get into that.
One. And so.
So Biden is saying here that this is the first use of a weapon to murder somebody in Japan. What world am I living in? How many people didn't? I mean, I'm not here. I've never been here to debate the numbers, right? So I might be wrong, but I've heard over 6 million Japanese people died in World War II. From not just the bombs in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, but also, the systemic oppression they were faced with. I mean, we cannot deny facts, Chad, nor should we. The first death, the first use of a weapon to murder someone in Japan. What the fuck is he talking about? Is a katana not a fucking weapon? Did the cavemen before the Japanese that were there, did they not have sticks, and did those not count as fucking weapons, you brain dead son of a bitch? Excuse me. I forgot. We don't give a fuck about any of this. Because it's all fucking bullshit. It's all fake. I've seen storylines from WWE that were much more plausible, that made much more sense. I mean, granted, I haven't watched that shit since I was a kid. But what's his name? Buff Bagwell fighting for his mother's honor. You know, the Judy Bagwell on a forklift match. That was some passionate shit. It just... This is the first use of a weapon. What are you talking about? I'm pretty sure the Japanese army had firearms, did they not? Because even if he means just guns, it's still not true. What the fuck is he talking about? What a moron. Or rather, whoever wrote the script that he reads. But yes, many of you may have heard, but Hideo Kojima was misidentified as the man who had assassinated Abe. Let's bring this up here. I couldn't believe my... It's like they'll fall for anything. It's not even Sam Hyde, right? Because you can understand, like, okay, maybe people don't know who Sam Hyde is. But at what point are we just supposed to go have any form of skepticism when they're telling us that a video game developer is actually an assassin? Here's the Kotaku article on this. It's such a fucking clown world we live in. Hideo Kojima misidentified as Shinzo Abe assassin by news channel and politicians. I'm glad we finally live in the world we deserve. This is the destiny we needed to embrace. Maybe it was Kojima. You know, I've played those Metal Gear Solid games. Am I supposed to think that a genius of his level would not be able to frame somebody like this? Like, he went in there with some sort of camo on? They're turning him into Sam Hyde. Dude, I'm all for that. I'm all for turning Hideo Kojima into Sam Hyde. Then they have to fight for, I don't even know, their honor or something. That's another thing I've been so burnt out on, man, are these, like, live creator fights. I will say the Michael Reed, I forgot who it was that Michael Reed fought. That was cool. You know, that was cool. It's starting to get a little played out, but I guess a lot of this stuff goes on until it's played out to its logical conclusion. I mean, have you ever seen, like, a TV show or a movie series that you think to yourself, well, this is just fucking already? Hideo Kojima. Ghost of Japan. Alright, so what else should we get into? Let's bring a little bit of humor, maybe. Or let's just check this out, right? You type in the story into Google, Georgia Guidestones. See what I'm talking about. What are the Georgia Guidestones, and why were they destroyed from the Washington Post? Well, okay, let's click on the Washington Post. Far right called U.S. Stonehenge satanic and cheered when it blew up. So you click on that article now, and that's what the article's called. But it used to be called, apparently, what are the Georgia Guidestones, and why were they destroyed? Far right called U.S. Stonehenge satanic and cheered when it blew. There we go. And I really gotta fix some of this, huh? I literally just turned on the old computer and fired up a stream, so... it's a little rusty. Some of the things don't quite match up. But it's sort of like the reality we've been in, right? The things that the tyrannical media oppressive class tells us little plebs and serfs. I know I'm starting to sound probably a little, what's the word? Left-leaning in my jargon here. But let's be real. The very same way they claim that different groups of people are pitted against each other, and one rules over the other. That's how they actually rule over everybody else. I mean, you've seen what happens to people. All right, we'll start with this, and then we'll move our way into something maybe a little bit more lighthearted. Ghislaine Maxwell's attorneys appeal her federal conviction and sentence. So for those who are unaware, Ghislaine Maxwell, the person who helped traffic children for Jeffrey Epstein, raped by politicians from across the world, was given a 20-year sentence. 20 years. Now, we'll get into the R. Kelly shit. R. Kelly was given 30 years. Yeah, really makes you wonder, huh? Attorneys for Ghislaine Maxwell have appealed for her conviction and 20-year federal prison sentence for carrying out a years-long scheme with her longtime confidant, Jeffrey Epstein, to groom and sexually abuse underage girls. Now, I forget exactly what article it was, but apparently she has made a public statement saying she is in fact not in her life. So, good to know that that's out there. And you know something? You can bet your ass she's gonna get out of this. Bet your ass she's gonna get out of this. They always do. Even if they do lock her up, you know where she's gonna be? She's gonna be in a nice, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a country club. Like, yeah, she won't be able to leave, but she'll be treated like a queen. The world we live in. Prince Andrew's friend, Ghislaine Maxwell, appeals conviction sentence. Here's it, they reframe it in another way. But basically the same info. So I think I saw somebody say the soundboard isn't working. It should be. I do have the program at the very beginning. I didn't get to read chat until after like 10 minutes of it. For the record, by the way, hello everybody. That's turning out tonight. Sound that means I am so mad. Put it off for another hour or so. I think the best place to start is to do you guys like the sound of being free? Anybody? Let me hold on a second. And all that karaoke version. Yep. That's the one. Alright, everything coming through. Ladies and gentlemen, from across the world, Mr. R. Kelly. Love. Sing it with me, chat. Pour out a drink. Light up a smoke. In fact, I'm gonna do that right now. Except for the drink part. I don't know any of the lyrics to this fucking song. Hold on, it's about to come up here in a second. Guess who's not flying anymore, motherfucker? I gotta say, that orange jumpsuit looked real nice on him. It was sort of like seeing Batman in the Batman suit. It just looked so right. Like, it was like the planets aligned, and finally this man found the purpose he was looking for his whole life. I believe I can fly. I believe we can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. R. Kelly's getting locked away. I'm so fucking happy, chat. This made my fucking week. It made my fucking week. About goddamn time. Believe you can fly. I think we should try. You know, let's just take him on top of a building. Nah. Just in Minecraft. Trying to load the article right now, but it's taking forever to archive this son of a bitch because Fox News wanted like a click or run an ad or something. Look, this isn't about money or clicks or any of that. R. Kelly's in fucking prison. 30 fucking years this miserable prick is gonna sit there. If he ever gets out, maybe on good behavior, he's gonna be sitting there with a fucking walker, going by the elementary school or the high school, wherever's closest enough to him, because let's be honest, he's gonna be an old decrepit son of a bitch by the time his ass gets out of jail. You can fly. I believe you can touch the sky. Think about it every night and day. This motherfucker's getting locked away. I believe he will soar. Saw him open doors. It's about damn time, dude. It's been coming for so fucking long. So eat shit, R. Kelly. Eat shit forever. And I might not be as eloquent or articulate as I once was at a younger time in my life, but my fuck, am I one ecstatic son of a bitch right now. So, yeah, allow ads. I'm not gonna allow ads. Motherfucker, we're just gonna have to wait. Why do people do this? It's like people's pursuit of earning a fucking penny by making you, like, look at this shit. When it comes to dabbing on pedophiles, right, there should be an exception. Like, alright, let's all, I'm not gonna make it so you can't read this fucking article, because this is about something greater than earning a penny. This is about dabbing on this motherfucker. And we can't. I gotta archive this stupid article and make everyone wait, because Fox News needs to earn their 5 fucking cents. It annoys the piss out of me. Like, everyone needing to fucking grift a dollar just ruins all the content. Always. Every single fucking time. You know, I might have to admit, maybe I was wrong. I used to think it was good as an incentive to make people make more content. Alright. Come on, load already, for fuck's sake. At least we have some music to accompany us, yeah? And the smooth serenading of your host. Alright, no, I'm cutting that out. Alright, so let's try to pray away this stupid bullshit. I do see that the music is my bad. But really, you don't need to hear anything else except me trying to sing along to the sweet sound of the saxophone. Nah, it should work and line back up.